Good day, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, today I'm going to tell you about a wonderful story of one of many miracles performed by Jesus in the New Testament. This story is taken from Luke 13:10-17. If you have a Bible nearby, you can follow along, but if you don't have one, just sit back and enjoy the story. So, Luke 13:10-17, verse 10. And he was teaching in one of the synagogue. Now, he here is the Messiah himself, Jesus. And a synagogue here is a place where Jewish assembly or congregation usually meet for religious worship. Some definition even claim that synagogue is the assembly or congregation and not the building itself. So continuing, verse 11. And behold, there was a woman who had a spirit of infirmity of 18 years, and was bowed together, and could in no wise or no way lift herself. Now, infirmity here is the lack of regular form or shapelessness. So here we know that this woman is probably seriously ill, or she's probably bent or twisted in some way. Her back was curved, so curved that she couldn't see the sky. Her face was always towards the ground. Now, this condition was a condition of 18 years, which means she had this condition for 18 years. Now, this was 18 years of discomfort, physical and mental pain, every day. Verse 12. And when Jesus saw her, he called her to him and said unto her, Woman, thou art loose from thine infirmity. Meaning, woman, you are set free from your infirmity. Verse 13. And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. Now, this story will leave you in awe of how wonderful and powerful Jesus is, that he can lay his hands upon the stricken and they can be healed, as seen in verse 13. Verse 14. Now, this miracle didn't come with a complaint. The ruler of the synagogue answered with anger, because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath day, and said unto the people, There are 6 days in which men ought to work. In them therefore come and be healed, and not on the Sabbath day. So here the ruler is angry, and he is complaining because Jesus healed the woman of her infirmity on the Sabbath day. Verse 15. And the Lord answered him and said, Thou hypocrite, do not each one of you on the Sabbath day loose his ox or his ass from the stall and lead him away to watering? And ought not this woman, being the daughter of Abraham, whom Satan had bound, these 18 years, be set free from thine bond on the Sabbath day? So in verse 15 and 16, we see Jesus as addressing those who complain against him for healing on the Sabbath day, calling them hypocrites and asking them a question. Doesn't each one of you on the Sabbath day untie your ox or donkey from the stall and lead it out to give it water? So why shouldn't this woman, calling her the daughter of Abraham, probably pointing to the fact that all of God's people are descendants of Abraham? So why shouldn't she be healed on the Sabbath day? And when he had said these things, all his adversaries were ashamed, and all the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. And that brings us to the end of the story. It's just a little short story in Luke. Now keep in mind, this woman glorified and rejoiced and thanked Jesus for what he had done. This brings to mind a word that we sometimes forget: being thankful. This woman was different from those 9 lepers who Jesus had healed. She thanked and she glorified his name. Remember, when Jesus healed those 10 lepers, only 1 came back. Now, just a word of encouragement. Your infirmity might come in the form of depression, anxiety, grief, or disappointment, or even in the form of sickness, as seen in Luke 13:10-17. But he wants us, his people, to have faith. This woman can now look up to the sky where God dwells over everything. After being face down for 18 years, probably being ridiculed by her peers, she believed in Jesus, and Jesus called her and she went. So be like this woman, submit to him, call on his name, and don't forget, after he answered your prayer, be thankful and spread the gospel. Amen.